Welcome back to Slay the Princess. Now, remember last time I got killed by the adversary, but we're now back into it, and the woods are no longer the woods. They look different. So we're going to be continuing back down there, and now I'll try to get the other one, which is what? The beast? But yeah, if I remember the beast correctly, there might be a way I remember it, but yeah, I'll figure something on my behalf. But anyways, let's continue on the, what do they call it? The Eye of the Needle. Yep.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met.
Okay, we're gonna look at history real quick. What do you said? What are the words? Are you not here channeling your solo loopy? You know the heroes are the same ones we've been talking to the beginning. Good.
It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you.
Yeah.
It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why wouldn't the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly wrong. These are just powerless thoughts and opinions. You don't need to let them drag you and the world to ruin.
Good. But we still gotta go forward no matter what.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us. Something to chase.
This looks so weird. Everything's like caved in, like a mountain.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight. More of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall. A pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it.
That damn mirror's back.
A mirror? But there is no mirror. There's the iron altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. But there isn't a door. There is. Circles, circles, all of it circles. There's something for us at the end of the room. The what and the why don't matter until we know them. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already.
Yeah.
When worst comes to worst, we can smash it. You
Okay.
take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Okay. Should I save, though? Let's see. I could if I want to. Here, I'll just save here. Why not? I could have saved earlier.
There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Here, this is the better save right here. Okay, let's continue now.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there. It's right in front of you.
It is
It's a
not.
bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean?
Wipe the mirror
Reach
clean.
forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open,
It's like a rock.
scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Alright.
Before you is what may as
Whoa.
well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
I know you can get out on your own. Let's see that.
But that wouldn't be fun. I don't want to be a monster chasing you down. I want to face you head on. I want an equal. It's so much better that way.
Okay, weirdo.
She needs to see us to give chase.
Nope. Okay.
You've
Matter
nowhere
what.
to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face
Whoa,
what
what the
lies
heck?
at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run. I really don't like the sound of this.
Yeah.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Let's talk a bit. We always fight when we're done. But I have questions. I want to know what happened if you killed me. Not down here. If you want me, you have to come and get me. If you want to go fight, you really want to see my best, we need someone with more space. You want to be free. I'm not fighting you. Step closer, see? Stopping just outside the chains, Lady Princess. Okay, let's see her.
We've talked plenty. I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of you standing just out of reach and teasing me with a fight you won't let me have. You disappointed me last time, so you don't get to choose what happens next.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run.
Oh.
Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
I see.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good.
Good.
You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll
Yeah.
take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway.
It actually is a
While
cabin.
walking a dangerous path, if you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Do it. Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
You want to fight?
The princess scoffs.
Aw.
Free? This is just another place. This is just... What is this? Where are we? This doesn't feel right. It's
Whoa.
cold. Why is it so
Oh.
cold? I feel so tired.
Wow, something happened. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay, she died. It was that easy. Huh.
She's gone. Where
Yeah,
is
it's the same thing. Yeah.
that thing reeks of death. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Jeez. And I should be loaded, right? Unraveled, right.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Let's see, any thoughts?
This one remembers a spark lost in time, and she would stop at nothing to reclaim it. She will make for a burning heart. Do
Okay.
not mourn her. She has finally remembered what she thought she'd lost.
Okay. I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Okay, that was rather shorter than I expected, but that's alright. Let's see here. Memories. Gift chase. Through the eye there. Straight on the wall. Oh, there's a lot I could do. But yeah, that's the adversary. Find the beast. Ah. Okay. Well, that was really short, honestly. I expect it to be a longer, but something I'd rather do. Anyways, I'm going to do the beast, and if I find it, I'll show you guys. See you there. So, I couldn't really figure out what I'm supposed to do here. I think I kind of messed it up, but there's another thing I want to do with the prisoner. And now I'm at the moment of the prisoner, and I did some little tinkering with it, and they had... It's something new, but it's kind of like the exact same thing. But whatever it is, we'll see.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon. Are you sure? What if she... I don't know... turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner. Yes,
I'm
I'm
sure.
sure. Turns it against you.
She's a prisoner here.
here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world. Okay, I'm trusting you. Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go. Wonderful. You do exactly that, sweeping the blade from the table before proceeding to the basement.
Yeah, you don't get a choice, so... You're just forced to.
Don't worry about
I learned
it.
that the hard way.
We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
As if by divine will, just as you finish the thought, you hear a door slam. I'm afraid you won't be leaving until the task is finished. It doesn't matter how many chains she's in, without your intervention, she'll find a way out eventually. That's not fair. Unless you deal with her right here, right now, she will remain an existential threat to the entire world. What seems unfair to you is fair for everyone else. Huh. So it's not even safe to think. I see how it is.
How surprising. They locked you down here too.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There is fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease. You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Hey, let me out of here. Open the
You
door.
have everything you need to deal with her and save the world. I'm sure the door will open as soon as you finish your incredibly important task. Doesn't sound like we'll be able to talk him into letting us leave. Yeah, not a chance. He's single-minded about this. But don't worry. There are plenty of things that aren't in his control. Oh? For instance? Us. Her. But mostly us. If he didn't have his limits, we wouldn't be here. Not like this.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive a beheading? You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her. Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests. No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that. She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't. Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you. Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us. So, what should we do? I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons. Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none. The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
I'm not giving you a weapon.
If you take a moment to imagine yourself in my position, I think you'll understand why letting you near me with that thing is untenable. So, be a good bird and hand it over. And if being nice isn't enough motivation, well, I'm not afraid to resort to violence. If you come near me with that thing, I will strangle you with these chains.
She doesn't beat
Okay.
around the bush, does she?
Yep.
Yes,
She
it's
doesn't.
almost like she's a fundamentally bad person who wishes to inflict pain on others. Or it's another bluff.
No hard feelings, of course. But you should be aware of my position.
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't. Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. That attitude is exactly why I don't trust you to get close while you're holding a knife. If that's unacceptable to you, then try me. See what happens.
She sure was quick to threaten you, wasn't she? Stop hesitating already, you know you can't trust her. Both of them are using the same argument. It's not making it any easier to pick a side.
Negotiating here. It's you, not me. Cut her out on your own. Okay, let's see here. I am going to override this. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what I do here, but there's like multiple choices I can do here, and I'll probably explore all of them.
I might be the one in chains, but we're both locked in here. The only thing you have to bargain with is that scrap of metal. Admittedly, it's a scrap of metal that I want, but you'll find that I'm extremely patient. Do you think these chains take away my saying things? I said no.
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if she walked up to us with a blade again, after what happened between us? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
I'm gonna try something.
You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. I don't like this. It was too easy. It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right.
Yeah.
This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now. You have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises? It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone, and especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty, and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here.
Yep.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it. With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here. The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty.
Yep.
The door. Check the door. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows. But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward? This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Like hell it is. I'm so glad you're keeping an open mind. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days, or months, or years, or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win. That's great. Congratulations. You've earned it.
Yay!
Time
Clap, clap,
passes,
clap, clap, clap.
though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is. Not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. He's just saying things. The voice's protestations fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Good ending. You did it. You say.
You stop that. Stop all this
Oh
nonsense.
shit!
You really don't
Fucking
want to think do you?
Oh.
Still have a blade.
Good job.
Use it on ourselves and start a situation. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Okay. Where do I save it?
Don't apologize. I'm sorry. Wait, why are you sorry? Your body lurches as your heart suddenly stops beating. Are you killing
Oh.
us? You'll forgive me eventually. You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose? Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want? I don't have to answer that. That's all we needed to hear. It turns out that it doesn't take too long to die after your heart stops beating. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right? Yeah, we'll see about that.
And there's the gray. Now, this gray one is actually different. There's two types of
You're
gray.
on a path. in
There's
the
one with
woods.
raining and there's one with dry.
That wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things.
I guess it doesn't matter what I did,
Bit by
actually,
bit,
because he
we're
just kills me.
starting to
So,
unravel
I guess
this
there was no point
place.
to save that.
There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling. That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay?
Yeah.
I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
Of course you've been here before. Of course you have.
It's our third.
Sure.
What gave it away? Your open discussions. You came around on that awful fast. Have you just been pretending to forget every time? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived? Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here? Oh, I know that one. The gruff one stopped our heart and we died. Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy. We were bored. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything. How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead.
It's raining. It wasn't raining last time, or the time before that. The whole path is different. Yeah.
Yes, things are different, aren't they? If this isn't the same path in the woods you're used to, that means that her influence is already spreading and you're running out of time. Her influence? What's that supposed to mean? It means exactly what I said. Don't overthink it, or you run the risk of making your task so much more difficult than it has to be. And what is that supposed to mean? Forget I said anything. I've probably already made things worse, and I need to stop talking about this now before I definitely make things worse. Oh, come on, tell us your secrets. Haven't we been through enough?
Yeah.
Don't we deserve to know?
Yeah.
No. Is
Okay.
there a reason it would be raining? If there is, it doesn't matter. If a bit of rain is the best her influence can conjure, then we have nothing to worry about. A drenched corpse is still a corpse.
Have you know that I didn't want to kill myself last time.
That's great to hear, but it doesn't matter because you still died. No hard
Yep.
feelings, right? Of course not. No feelings at all. Speak for yourself. What? You wanted us to stay in the happiness void forever? I doubt that. I'm sure you...
Before we go there, I just want to show you guys. This is the exact same thing as the gray here. You got two choices. It's either dry or they're raining.
What we do
Oh,
is
shit.
entirely
Whoops.
up to us.
And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right?
You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure?
We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us.
Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we should. I don't know. It's important.
Is it?
Yes. I think.
You think? Yes.
For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real. Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else?
Well, sort of.
Maybe we are. This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
Proceed into the cabin. Here we go.
As soon as you enter the cabin,
Whoa.
you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and
Ugh.
death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her? It's like she isn't even there.
See? We killed her.
You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door. There's a mirror, that's it. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it.
But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
But there is no door.
Maybe the mirror isn't real. Maybe it is real, and he's lying through his teeth to stop us from looking into it. But it seems like whatever we want to do, our next step is on the other side of the room. You're clearly hallucinating, but I'd rather not get into it with you right now. The door to the basement is on the far side of the room, whether you can see it or not.
Okay.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's so hazy. We should try and clean it off. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now.
So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things.
No way left to go but down.
Yep.
The door to the basement grows open.
So wet.
The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy
Gross.
figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely.
She's just an old memory.
Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner. You receive no response. Do you think she's upset with us? I don't like being here unarmed after what happened last time. I feel so exposed. She doesn't seem fully there. I'm not sure she's even capable of being upset. You aren't helping.
Are you scared of a little ghost? What's she going to do? Look at us until we feel bad? She can look all she wants. It won't do anything. As you descend the final step,
Oh,
the form of
God.
the princess comes into view. A
Ugh.
bloated body.
Before he speaks, let's look at the memories real quick. Game so. Oh my god, it is a drowned body.
This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything? How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before?
Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even.
Okay, before we continue, I still want to check the memory one last time. What the water gave me, what the water gave me. Okay, there's only 3 choices, so I guess it's just direct, I guess?
Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying or destroying, if we want to be a little more death neutral, seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
If you killed me first, we're even now. We don't need to do this again.
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence. Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I
Jesus.
wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
Okay, there's obviously 2 options here, as you know. I'll just do both and see what happens.
The princess eyes
that's-
you with a
okay,
disaffected
that's not what I want to do,
gaze
but-
as
alright.
you rush up the stairs, but you don't make it past the first few steps. The door bursts open, a powerful wave of water crashing down towards you. You're swept up in the flood. Your head slams into the basement wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out. It's so dark and cold, I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this? Just keep breathing, we'll figure this out. Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way. But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle. You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it.
Here she is.
Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle,
the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness. I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix.
And there's not a lot we can do about the present either. Not unless we think like we should have been doing all along.
But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same your mind filled with blood. In the end, are not so different.
Ah. There she goes. Yum, 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 yum. Yep. That's that. Yellowstone film. No will they ever. It's never you leave, never you
She's
return.
gone. And
Okay, don't care. Blah, blah. Alright. Okay, back to here. Memories. Doo-doo-doo. I think that's it for the gray. Yeah. Yep, that's it for the gray.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back.
Fear.
Fear.
Cringe. Anyways.
Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Alright. I'm gonna leave it off here and now continue off next episode for the boss battle. Okay. Save it right here and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.